how to deal with your own bullshit stories you sell to yourself. This is what I'm going to share with you today, because this is something that I encounter with myself on a day-to-day basis. And if you're anything like me, then you're probably the best salesman or saleswoman in the world when it comes to sell yourself on things that you either want to do, to buy, to participate in, to engage with, and you're the best salesperson in the world to get yourself out of it, convince yourself why you shouldn't do it, why you should stop doing something that you pursue, and why you can self-sabotage yourself with these stories. This is something that I've learned in a very, very deep way throughout my life, and to understand that we do sell ourselves bullshit stories day and night, all the time. Look, in order to make a decision about anything in your life, whatever it is, even if it's what you're going to eat for dinner, or are you going to go to the gym, or are you going to pursue something at work, or do some bigger transformational goals like I'm after, right? This 1,000-day transformation goal, all of those things, you need to buy into them, right, yourself. And in order to do this, there's a sales process that has to take place in your mind and hopefully in your heart. Because what I've learned to understand is that if there's a disconnect between the place where these decisions come from, if it's just from your head and you're using your logical process to understand why you should do it, why you shouldn't do it, you weigh the pros and the cons, and you kind of do your research on Google, and you do all those things until you make a logical decision, right? Sorry. These decisions, when they come to the point of allowing you to do a transformational goal, to really pursue something big that requires you to evolve and change and grow, if it doesn't come from the heart, if it doesn't come from a place that you understand why you want to do it, ain't gonna happen. Just the reality of it. And I'm sure that from your personal experiences, you've seen this 1,000 times over, right? Every time you make a decision to make some form of a healthy change or a substantial change in your life, and you hit that glass ceiling, it starts in your head. There's a story that you keep selling yourself. And for me, with 1,000-day goal transformation of body, business, and writing my book, there are bullshit stories all day long. It's just, it doesn't stop, right? It's really unbelievable. Every situation, there is a conversation in my head about, should you do it, should you not? Maybe you should delay it. Oh, I got something from work. I can't do my workout. And then I'm too tired, and I'm too hungry, and I don't feel like it. And I didn't sleep well last night. And maybe I should just take a day off or whatever. There's always something that will come at us. But here is a little bit of an update on where I'm at with the transformational goals. So as you know, I have my 3-year calendar, right? All of it. This is 1 year out of 3. And I'm happy to announce that day 26, I'm still on track. But results were kind of funny, because for me, I weigh myself and I take my circumferences once a week. That's my check-in with my coach. And I try not to do it every day, because body weight fluctuates, could be, between a pound to even 3 pounds between days, just because of salt intake and water retention, and there are many other reasons to do that. So for me, weight hasn't changed. Another week, last week my weight didn't budge. This week my weight didn't budge. It actually just went up throughout the week, and then it kind of went back down. So if I was to again just measure my progress based on weight, it would be extremely demoralizing. Extremely. And then the story kicks in, the bullshit story. Oh, what you're doing doesn't work, and you're not doing this good enough, or whatever story you have. For me, a lot of it is not doing it good enough, or not doing it in a precise way that I think it should be done. And then you sell yourself a story why you need to stop, or you need to change directions. And if you don't dig deep enough into something like a transformational goal, forget about it, my friends. It just ain't gonna happen. It's just the reality of it. Transformational goals have to be long-term. You have to be able to absorb those little bumps along the path that will not derail you for every little, crappy thing that happens. And that is the bullshit story that we are selling ourselves all the time. And as I said, when the stories come only from the head, when you find yourself in your thoughts and you try to figure it out, and there's this intense dialogue, For me, the first thing that I do is I capture it. I capture it on paper. I journal every day. For me, it's morning. My days begin around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and until 8, this is my time. It's my time for journaling and doing other activities that fill my tank, that raise my vibration. I capture these thoughts. I capture these dialogues that really are sometimes destructive, aggressive. The things that I write sometimes, it's unbelievable. Like, who is this guy? Unreal, right? But what it allows me to do, it allows me to acknowledge that part is inside me, that these thoughts are real. Something fuels them. And then I can interact with it. And then I can overcome them. And then I can change directions. And then I can decide not to succumb to whatever idea came up in my head that maybe I should change directions, right? Even with the body transformation, for example, I eat 6 times a day. Every 2 hours, I eat a certain meal, right? Which is, I weigh my food. It's crazy, right? Everything I weigh, and the proportions between the carbs and the fats and the protein, everything is there. Why? Because that's the way that my body responds beautifully. So I took my circumferences, and surprise, surprise, right? Again, another change. Almost another centimeter off my waist. Now guys, since I started, officially for YouTube, I started January 1st, just to keep it round, right? But I started November 28th. And since then, I've almost lost 9 centimeters of pure fat, visceral fat from my love handles, right? And of course, other parts of the body, it goes without saying, but it works, right? But if I was to sell myself a story, if I was only to see progress based on weight, or other things, I would self-sabotage and not continue and think this doesn't work and I should change directions. But the reality is that when you have something that is this, I told you, this motherlode goal that comes from the heart, that you want to do this in a beautiful way, in a supportive way, not to grind and hustle and bash yourself and be aggressive with yourself. That's temporary. You may get results. Trust me, that there's a lot of people that support that approach, and I was on that side of the equation for many years, especially since my military trainings have kind of taught me that the hard way is the way. But I realized that it's not the case. I realized that there are hard things along the way, but it's your perspective and how you stand in front of them and how you interpret them and how you use them. My personal belief is that in every situation there's a lesson. And in order to learn the lesson, in order to understand it, in order to embody it, you really need to be in a position where you can see it, you can hear it, you can understand it, you need to capture it, you need to process it. And I tell you, for some people, they say, oh my God, this is so much work. Yeah, this is so much work. You want a transformation, you need to work for it. It doesn't come easily. It's just not. And the bigger transformation you're after, the more tedious and detailed and restrictive you need to be with yourself, with your thoughts. You need to be very, very precise with how you do things. And this is what I've learned so far. So I just wanted to share with you how to deal with bullshit stories. And I hope you find some inspiration in this, some direction. Maybe you'll start to observe your own bullshit stories and how you sell yourself and sell others. Life is one big negotiation, right? We always try and sell something. Sell to our kids to clean the rooms or to participate in household activities. Sell to our partners, our colleagues in business. We sell all the time. But don't forget, you also sell yourself daily, right? So become a very powerful salesperson, but a salesperson with a heart, a salesperson that is in your corner trying to really help you versus the salesperson that is trying to derail you. All right, my friends, I'll see you next time.